Hey, it's your boy, King Savage, and yes, welcome me back. It's the one and only OG of the YouTube University, and you know I am back and we know we're gonna get it popping. Now, I know you have a lot of questions for me, and trust me, I am willing to answer every single one of you, and just place it down in the comments. You could say how confusing I am, or you could welcome me back. I'll accept either way. Now, this tier list is disclaimer just of what I've seen of in competitive play of like what are the best actual mechs that I've seen. So like if there's like a mech that I haven't seen enough in and you honestly think like where I place this certain mech is like probably too high or too low, hit it down also in the comments so I could actually learn from you and you could even teach me something, and you know, we learn off of each other. And just before we also get this video started, I want you to please smash that like, hit that subscribe, and once when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll even take YouTube even more serious than I did back then and become one of the best. So if you really want my channel to grow and you want to have information every week, you want to have videos of openings and all this, we really have to get this ball moving. So once when we hit 1,000 subscribers, that's when everything starts popping. So help me get there, and I guarantee you we could really make SMC even better game than PUBG Mobile. Just telling you from now. Alright, now let's get into the video with the newest mech, Aurora. Now I'm going to try and keep this video as short as I can, under 20 minutes, sorry if I can't, but I'm going to do as much as I can to keep it short. Now, we got Aurora. A fantastic mech is all I can say about this. Even though they nerfed them to where like you can have full armor and it doesn't bring you down to full health, like if it wasn't for that nerf, I would have put Aurora in the OP tier. But since they did nerf his beam to a little bit less, I feel like it goes over in SS. Now let me explain really quick. This is probably the greatest example of a peaker mech in the city. If you're in like Alpha Towers, Castle, or Sports Arena, this mech will rule that entire place. Because with its fuel, it could travel so far, it could hit you in the air, it could come at you at crazy speeds. So really, I just get terrified when I'm up against this mech. I haven't seen enough of it in competitive play, but when I do see it, oof, it's a completely different story, and it honestly hurts. Those beams hurt a lot. So I feel like Aurora for right now should stay in the SS tier. So that's why I feel like he should belong. If you think I'm wrong, just tell me down in the comments. But that's where I feel he is. This is not me just like hyping him up because I've been using him ever since I found out about him, but I enjoy him a lot. Now, let's get on to the next mech. Like I said, short and sweet and simple, is Neutron Star. Now, Neutron Star, over the days, I've been feeling like it's a little, how do you say, it's been balanced out a little bit. It's like a peaker mech, but not all the way. It's more like an Arthur and a Skylark combined. It's kind of graceful in its own way, and it does a healthy amount of damage for what it does, and it's fast, which I like about it. But then there's times where like it doesn't have enough power, or the person that is actually using it is not really up to its mastery level to really say like this mech belongs in like OP or an SS tier. Now, I ain't saying that it's bad that it goes all the way in D tier. No, I ain't said that. But I feel like Neutron Star goes in S tier. I feel like it just needs a little bit more. Just a little bit more, because with each and every other of these mechs, I've been able to destroy a Neutron Star. It's not really that hard. Like, probably give it a little bit more fuel and I'll probably even like boost it up to SS, because really that fuel is really helpful with this mech. Fuel with like mechs that are traveling fast are like the key source of their speed, and like that's what really makes them good. And I feel like if they gave Neutron Star a little bit more fuel, it would just be an entire game changer. Moving on to the next one is Hurricane. Now with Hurricane, I just gotta say this. That's one beast of a mech. Really, if you master this mech in competitive play, you're nearly unstoppable. You're taking kills, you're deleting mostly everybody's mech. Nobody could even like dare mech up in front of you, but if they don't, they're gonna die. Like, this mech is scary of how fast its bullets are, how mobile it is, and how flexible it is, and how adaptable it is. I've seen many times pro players take in Hurricane, their entire team dies, and they still come out with the dub just because of this mech. And you know, I have to leave it in the OP tier because it's really just that good when you master a Hurricane. And then there's that automatic aimbot with his core too, that you honestly gotta say like, oh, this feels so good not to aim. Like, it gives your fingers a break, you know. We all know that feeling. We all know that feeling of a sweaty screen. Now, let's get on to the next mech, which is Raven, my boy. I love Raven for the simple fact that no matter how many times SMC, Super Mecha Champion, nerfs Raven, he still comes out as a freaking monster in the battlefield. Honestly, if you have Juice World aim, which I basically mean aim juice, as in like your shots are always like hitting your target, you're doing crazy amount of damage and really almost like mental stress on your opponents, because really they cannot focus on how much damage they're taking while they're fighting your teammates. It is freaking crazy when you bring a pro Raven into competitive play. And just for that, I have to bring Raven to OP tier. Because honestly, like, it just shows, it's even Super Mecha's developers realize how powerful a pro Raven can be. They keep nerfing this guy and it will always prove my point. Like, this dude is an absolute monster. Now let's get on to our boy Trio. They changed his name so many times, I'm sorry. Trio of Enders. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Trio of Enders is kind of not really there. I don't see Trio of Enders anywhere in S, SS, or OP tier. I don't see it, I'm sorry. Because really, when I see a Trio of Enders, I just fear his special and that's it. After that, I just feel like I have to more like duck, tuck, and roll. That's all I have to do when I'm going up against a Trio of Enders. Now, I just feel like it should go in A tier, but if you ask me like, oh, you know so much about this mech and how good it is, like, how would you improve it? If I was to improve this mech, I would say get rid of the fact that we have to do an entire rotation just to get back to a gun. Like, if I want to go to shotgun, then minigun, then back to shotgun again, let me do that instead of having to go through an entire chain to just get to the weapon I want. That's the only thing that makes me feel like so much disappointment in Trio of Enders. Now, you could get mad at me all you want, but really, that's all I see out of Trio of Enders, and I'm sorry. That's just the fact about it. Now, let's get on to Firefox. Now, this is a mech that I will say belongs in S tier. You really cannot put this mech anywhere else. It cannot be anywhere under, and it cannot be anywhere over. This is probably the definition of a well-balanced mech. It's super consistent with his bullets, his missiles, its boosts, and its shields. It's super consistent and really is terrifying when I see in competitive play. This mech is a beast. Especially with Juice World aim. Oof, I hate to go up against this because it does so much consistent damage and you're really just wondering what the hell is happening to me. And really, that's just the fact about it. This is a really consistent mech. That's Firefox for you. Okay, since we're halfway done, I'm gonna just say please hit that subscribe and hit that like button if you like videos like this, and if we get up to 40 likes, I promise you I'll release a video of the best mechs for beginners, so you could really get that ball rolling and you can actually start to master a few harder mechs and actually get to alpha even faster. Now, if you think that is great, I have many more planned. Let's just get up to that goal of 1,000 subscribers so we could really get this party started. Now, let's continue on with Baltics. Now, with Baltics, for me, not a lot of people actually know how to use them. They're honestly just starting out with a lightning bolt, and they're just like trying to get their counters every single time. And it's really, this mech, you gotta know that it actually needs a real brain. You cannot just start firing this mech just like it was a Firefox. No, it's not that type of mech. It's really not. You gotta know its patterns, its way of living. Like, you really gotta know its fundamentals. You gotta know its fundamentals to actually say that you are a Baltics master. And since I don't see a lot of them, I can't really say that Baltics belongs in an OP tier. Now, many times, and I mean many times, I actually seen really pro Baltics users where like I am just baffled that they actually were able to get the patterns down, and like they impressed me a lot, up to the point where I could put them in SS tier and not regret it at all. And that's honestly how I feel about it, but not a lot of people actually know how to use Baltics. And it baffles me. Like, when I see a Baltics, I should be terrified because of those major damage counters that it'd be doing to me. But not a lot of people know how to use it, and they end up messing their entire rhythm. Especially if someone already knows your rhythm, you're screwed. That means you're done being able to use Baltics. You can't use Baltics around that person no more. And that's how I honestly feel about him. So, for the simple fact that not a lot of people actually know how to use him, and maybe I might bring him up a tier with like a second look when I'm done here, but honestly, that's where I feel like Baltics should be. It should be an S tier until I see more people actually learning how to use him properly. I don't feel like he should go anywhere else. Even in competitive play, I don't see it. And I want to see it in competitive play. I want to be able to be so proud of my boy Baltics to say almost like, oh, he's OP. He's just OP. He's unstoppable force. But I don't see that yet. Alright, moving on to the next mech. This mech, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm sorry. I am always disappointed when I see this mech. I go up against this mech, I don't even see it in competitive play. When I see this mech in competitive play, I legit see a free kill. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It can't really cover its distance enough where it can actually start hitting me with the actual things that actually hurt. And honestly, it's just so underwhelming. I just don't like it. I see this, don't get me wrong, he's super cool. I like how he looks. I like how its fundamentals is going, like, oh, you change into a dragon warrior from Kung Fu Panda. And I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love dragons. But when I feel like I use this dude, it's not powerful enough, or like you gotta be super precise, or you won't hit them, and it doesn't cover enough distance. I just can't see this mech anywhere above B. Like, if I want to see this mech above B, then at least give him at least a little bit more distance. Increase his speed, or give him more like traveling distance, something where he can actually close that distance, where I could actually say, oh, he's good enough to put in S, or you could overpower him where he could be in SS, but I don't see him anywhere in there, so he's going to B. Sorry. I'm just sorry. Prove me wrong in the comments. Show me a video. I don't care. I will actually just see this dude as a disappointment. I don't even want to learn his name. I just see this and I get sad. Alright, moving on to the next mech, we have Arthur. Now, with Arthur in competitive play, this dude is an absolute monster. I get terrified of this dude because honestly, he's moving all over the place. He's hitting you with so much damage. He's stunning you. You know, like, he is taking care of everyone and everything. And honestly, someone that knows Arthur's fundamentals and his utility is a damn boss. He should be ruler of all Arthurs, because he should be terrifying to everyone he sees, because a real Arthur knows what he's doing. And many times in almost every pro squad I've seen, they have an Arthur. And I gotta do it. He belongs in OP tier. A real true Arthur master is almost untouchable. I will say that for much. They're almost untouchable, and sometimes it gets scary. Alright, next up is Andromeda, or Andromeda. That's how I like to say it. Andromeda, for me, I would say is balanced. Like, almost as balanced as like Firefox, where I could say like, yeah, balanced. If it was a balanced tier list, then yeah, I would definitely put it right next to Firefox. Because honestly, like, a real master of Andromeda in competitive play is kind of scary and like super annoying. But in a way, some people actually don't know how to really use her, and like, they get annoying, but they're easily taken out. Like, it's rare that you actually see a real Andromeda player and they're like really good with Andromeda. It's rare to see. And since I don't see that a lot, and is not really as consistent as like someone like Firefox, or has a really good pattern like Baltics, I just see this mech more as like A tier. Maybe like in the future, where they buff her damage or do something that really gives her that oomph that makes her even more annoying or more consistent, then I'll more say, then yeah, she belongs in like A or S or SS, because honestly, I enjoy this mech. When I was first playing it, I enjoyed it. I love how it has a nice splash damage. It has like a little shock bolt to it where it stuns you. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy this mech, but until I see more players really using this to like its maximum potential and see it more in pro play, I have to put her in A tier. I'm sorry. Now we're getting on to the last 6, and the next one we have is Hotsteel. Hotsteel, let me just say, I am a big fan of Hotsteel. I've been playing Hotsteel ever since I started this game in Season 1. And you know, he's only the best like entry mech ever. An entry mech is basically someone that like starts the battle, and Hotsteel is basically the definition of a real entry mech. He could start blasting you from whatever distance, giving you real damage. He could close off that distance in a flash. He could hit you so hard that you kind of go like, whoa, like this dude is really aggressive. And it kind of terrifies you when you see a really pro Hotsteel, because you know, even as a pilot, you're not safe. Even Doomlights are terrified of Hotsteels, because really, Hotsteels could cover that distance and give you so much damage really quickly. And the fact that they added a fusion blast permanently, it's terrifying. For the OGs, remember when we actually had to get a core to actually make that work? Yeah, now it's fixed. Yeah, and for that, I don't really say he's an OP tier, because like, again, he's a little slow, not as balanced as others, and you can't really take on like a full squad like with Arthur or with Hurricane, and you can't really be like too far away from your opponents, or honestly, like, you can't really do anything at like a certain amount of distance. But he still covers the gap, so I will put him in SS. I enjoy him a lot. Alright, next up is Carmel. Now, Carmel, I'm not gonna lie, he's not as balanced as some of these mechs, because honestly, I feel like when I go up against a pro Carmel and like he's in his tank form, I just see a free kill. I honestly do, or I see like someone that's about to take down a whole lot of life there. Like, honestly, he's a perfect assistant mech when he's not being bothered. I will say that for much. He is perfect for that. He gives your opponent so much damage when you're attacking him. It's like crazy. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. And due to the fact that it's just not enough, when I'm talking about pro play, I'm talking about like most likely mech battles, because pilot battles are more risky than anything. But when it comes to like mech battles, like I just don't see enough of it. I don't see enough where I could be like, yeah, he belongs in like S, SS, OP, or even A tier. So I'm gonna put him in B tier for now. I know I played with him many times. I brought him into like my own competitive plays, but again, I feel like its only weakness is either it doesn't have enough health when it gets into tank mode, or is not doing enough damage where I could finish my fight in tank mode and then search for the dude that's trying to hit me. I just don't feel like that. It's not really covering some bases that it needs to be covered to really be a really good mech. Now we're up to the last 4. Now I'm gonna say this from right now. Skylark, I hate you, but you're one of the beast mechs. I'm not gonna lie. Skylark, when you really know how to use a Skylark, you are absolutely guaranteed to be targeted. Every match I go into that is pro competitive gameplay and I see a Skylark, I legit just tell my team, yo, take care of that Skylark. I'm not gonna deal with the Skylark because, you know, they're super annoying. They heal, they are like agile as a feather but quick as a freaking cheetah, and I hate going up against them. And they're almost untouchable as an Arthur because really they could cover a distance and get back away from you all before the time you even get to mech up, and I hate that about them. But again, you could take on full squads and like really delete a lot of people. And with Skylark, I just feel like this mech has earned its place in the OP tier. Now we're on to the next one and third. Now I say this, if you have amazing aim, and I mean amazing, you should always take up Gabriel. And I mean this at its highest degree because honestly, Juice World aim with aim juice and a Gabriel is probably the most deadliest combo in this entire SMC game. Like honestly, when I see a Gabriel giving me so much damage, I literally just want to hide. I don't want to go up against the Gabriel no more. Not until like I get close enough where I could say like, okay, I could probably take care of the Gabriel now. But when it comes to like that Gabriel is far away and he's hitting me with 1,000 damage apiece, no, I give up. I don't like you no more. Get me out of this game. I quit. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. That's really what I feel like when I go up against the Gabriel. It's too much. It's too much. Now let's get on to the next mech, which is Doomlight. Doomlight, I gotta say, is a completely different story. There's many people that claim that they know how to use Doomlight. You know, they put their turrets down, they put their shield down, and they think that they're the best. They think that they belong in competitive play and they could like you know, rule the entire game. But honestly, that's not how it is. They get destroyed and they honestly ask like, why? I was using Doomlight. I was doing so good. Why was I destroyed in 5 seconds? And I say this, you really don't know how to use Doomlight. Doomlight is a completely different situation. You gotta learn how to place your turrets lightning fast. You have to have your core 1 for any close range combat. You have to have your shields down the second when an enemy spots you. And you also gotta learn flights. And when I mean flight, I mean you gotta learn how to fly and shoot at the same time. Because I guarantee you, flying does not just work. And due to the fact that not a lot of people actually know how to use Doomlight like that, I can't say he belongs in an OP tier. I can't say that because not a lot of people actually know how to use him. Not a lot. But I will say this. He belongs in SS. Because even though you do not know how to do like mid-air combat, or the fact that you like are a good aim with him and you don't know how to place your turrets, he is a very crucial part to your team. Because honestly, people just hate Doomlight. They see a Doomlight and they really hate it because they're doing like so much distraction damage, and if that Doomlight is actually targeting you, they're doing a lot more damage after that. And I honestly feel that way. So no matter like in competitive play or if not, a real Doomlight, even though if it's like at its basic, is still so good. Like, even though it has a weakness against pilots, I feel like you could cover that if you actually have good aim. If you have good aim, that part is like deleted automatically. But now let's get on to the very last one, and now we're gonna get into a very annoying mech, which is Firestar. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something about Firestar. When someone actually knows how to use Firestar, they are the most annoying mech in this entire game. I'm not gonna put him in OP tier because honestly, back then, he used to be able to like take on full squads by himself. I did it before, many people have done it before. You were able to take on full squads, but not anymore. You're still able to take on full squads, but you're not able to really delete them from the game. So, due to that fact, I'm gonna put him in SS. But really, he's not an easy mech to learn. He is not an easy mech to learn, not at all. But once when you learn this mech and master him, he is the most annoying mech to go against. Like honestly, I feel like every single time I go up against him, I just feel like I have to get away from him or he's just gonna be super annoying in all of my other fights. And I just can't have that. Alright guys, there it is. There is my list of the best mechs in competitive play tier list. Now if you liked this video, please hit that subscribe and like button to support my channel. Likes actually makes this video go even more viral, and that brings me even more people to my channel, and they probably might even subscribe. So hit that like button. If we get to 40 likes, I'm gonna give you the best mechs for when you're a beginner, so you can actually get that ball rolling for everybody that wants to get started. But we also want to talk about subscribers. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, it could even do 10 times more of the amount of getting me to a place where I can even start getting sponsors. I can start like doing giveaways. I'm not talking about cheap ones like a $5 Play Store gift card. No. I'm talking about real giveaways. And I'm talking about like that real stuff. So please hit that subscribe button. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get this party started. This is your boy, King Savage. I love all my kings and queens. Peace.